Hello beautiful beings and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually make. I started filming this video over a month ago when I was going through my second dark night of the soul and my third spiritual awakening. I was depressed, but I went to divine and now I feel really good. So this video is going to be all about my journey back into stepping into my divine feminine. Because when things are out of balance, especially if you are more drawn to one side and you kind of disconnect, things get really hard. So if you would like to watch me on this journey, then just keep watching this video. Okay, so the first time I had my spiritual awakening, it did not come with the dark night of the soul. During my second awakening, I had a dark night of the soul. That was 2 years ago. And now I am going through my third awakening and my second dark night of the soul. So I'm just going to document this experience for myself to look back on it and see how many more I'm going to have throughout my life. People think that when you go through a spiritual awakening that you're only going to go through it once. But the first one is only the beginning, and each one becomes more and more intense as the years go on. So I had my first spiritual awakening in end of 2015, early 2016. It is the end of 2021. I don't know how many years that is. 6, 7. Let's get me out of this depressive episode of this second dark night of the soul so that maybe it can help someone else get through theirs. I have noticed that when I am eating like high vibrational foods, like a lot of vegetables and, you know, like fresh cooked healthy meals, that I feel better. And it makes me like want to cook and like excited to eat. I don't know. I just feel like when I eat garbage and like make something super easy like ramen, it kind of adds up. It makes you not feel good in your body, which ends up making you not feel good in your mental, because we all know that gut health is mental health. Yeah, I am making it a point to take care of my body. And I've been eating healthy for, I don't want to say my whole life because I used to be large. But I've been very good lately and I feel like that's tremendously helping my mental health. I need some TLC right now and I'm gonna go see my divine counterpart and get a good cuddle on because I need it for this. It's really important to have a support system, and when you do have that support system, your love for them grows. And as corny as it sounds, love is the thing that gets you through anything. I truly believe that love is the answer to everything. It heals everything, and issues that arise in people come from a lack of love at some point in their life, usually childhood.
3 days later.
Grand rising, beautiful beings. So the other day I had my friend Poppy come and visit me. We did some intense sister healing and it was a lot of shadow work, things that were difficult for me. Eye contact has never been something that was easy for me, so we did eye gazing and it was very intense. It was very difficult for me. I cried, I laughed, but it was incredibly powerful and healing for me as well. I am currently learning feng shui, so I am going to be moving things around, redecorating in my apartment today, as well as doing a little bit of work, shadow work. Something that came up for me when I was with Poppy was that I have been afraid to embrace my divine feminine. It seems that somewhere along the way, I've lost touch with it. I really want to reconnect with it. Hello from future me. I am currently editing this video and I just finished a healing session. We saw that in one of my past lives, I had to dress up as a man and pretend to be a man in order to survive in the world that I was living in. It was like in cowboy times. I feel like that has something to do with why I go through these periods of not wanting to embrace my femininity. Anyways, back to the video. There is obviously something so sacred about romantic relationships, as with any relationships. All relationships are sacred, even the ones that we don't really want to have. But there is something so divine about sisterhood, and that is something that I've been out of touch with for the last year or so. There's this fear of me opening up myself again to sisterhood, wanting that sacred connection with other women, but also this fear. So that is something that I'm going to work on today. I'm going to journal, and then I'm going to take all this creative energy that I'm feeling and channel it into recreating, redecorating my space, and maybe making a piece of artwork. Home is a very important thing for me, and I feel like that is something that is very intertwined with the divine feminine. It's just creating a sacred space. So I'm very excited, and I will show you the progress as I go.
One eternity later.
So it's now been about 3 or 4 days since I started filming this video. I cannot tell you guys how much I am starting to feel better and just reconnect with that divine feminine part of me. Just remembering that womb center, it's a freaking portal. I mean, come on. We are aligned with the moon's cycle, and we shed this part of ourselves and release every time that she does. My moon cycle used to be aligned with the full moon. Now it is aligned exactly with the new moon. And I can't tell you how powerful that makes me feel. I feel like I have awakened to this part of myself, my femininity. I'm embracing it. I started dressing the way that I used to dress, showing off my feminine body because I'm so freaking proud of it. I've just been watching videos of other strong, powerful women just talk about how sacred we are. I mean, like, come on, your womb center, you have the ability to conjure a soul out of the universe and turn it into a physical vessel and bring this life into this planet as a physical incarnation. I mean, how freaking cool is that? I have decided that I'm going to start honoring my moon cycle. I have just finished my moon cycle, and I am ready to prepare for my next one. I'm setting those intentions to honor this and be a different way about it. So I'm going to be using different products, and as gross as some people may think this is, I am deciding to not give a shit anymore because it is so divine and so sacred, and it is literally the seed for life to grow. I'm going to start saving my blood. I'm going to start saving it. It is full of stem cells. I'm going to give it back to the earth and to my plants instead of just flushing it down the toilet and hiding it and being ashamed of it. It is the only blood that doesn't come from violence, but it is the one that grosses people out the most. That doesn't make sense. So I am really reprogramming this, and I encourage you to reprogram yourself and the men around you as well. That is something that I'm currently working on with Will right now too. He's never been like grossed out by my period ever, but I want to instill this idea of sacredness and divineness and life into him that I'm instilling in myself now too. You know, it's just crazy because like 3, 4, 5 days ago, I was having life-ending thoughts, and now I feel so alive. I feel so freaking powerful that I just want to keep going on this journey and just diving deep down and pulling out those roots of misogyny and alchemizing. That's what it is. It's alchemy. Women are the embodiment of alchemy. You are taking nothing and you are turning it into something beautiful over this magical process. Really quick, I also did want to mention my periods have always been so difficult and so painful, and I have been looking for holistic remedies for literally the last 6 years when I got off birth control and when I was, going through my spiritual awakening. And there is really not a lot of information out there. But I feel like that is still because we have this stigma around our moon cycles and that it's gross and that we should need to hide it or be ashamed of it. So I am going to see how this will affect me in terms of that pain that I feel during my moon cycle, because it's really, really intense. I mean, I am debilitated basically for the first 3 or 4 days. I am excited to get my next one, to see how just honoring it and changing my beliefs and my thoughts around my moon will affect it physically. So I'll keep you guys updated on that.
3 days later.
I decided to put on my makeup today and just feel beautiful and powerful and sexy and divine and magical like the being that I am. I realized that as soon as I fill my cup up a little bit, I immediately want to give it away. Last year and the year before was very much a year of giving. For this upcoming year, 2022, it is going to be a year of receiving for me. And by that, I don't mean just material abundance, but receiving knowledge and just that self-love that I really need right now. Because Pluto return is about to happen in February. I'm gonna have my Saturn return. So I have a year basically to get my shit together and to get my consciousness in the realm where it needs to be. And I have just been every day awakening my divineness, my magical self. I did a sacral chakra dancing this morning. I was moving those hips, feeling so divine and so sexy and magical, like I am, as I should, and just reawakening the fact that I am a divine, fabulous, magical queen. And how could I have ever forgotten that? I want to fill up my cup. I want it to be overflowing, and when it is overflowing, that is when I will be able to give again. But I can't just put a little bit in and then dump it out right away. I need to be whoosh, like a waterfall. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hold space for others right now because I want to hold it for myself, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. 222, you gotta find balance, baby. Today I am focusing on me. I did my dancing, I did my gratitude, I put my makeup on, and now I am just gonna work on my life coaching school. I'm stepping back into my power, and I'm doing that. So I did want to also mention really quickly that the type of media that you consume is really, really, really important. So when I was kind of in this depressive episode, I was watching Netflix, binging, watching Charmed, Riverdale, literally anything I could find that I haven't already watched as a distraction, because I just didn't want to face what was going on in my consciousness. Now I'm not watching Netflix at all anymore. I watch it on the weekends with Will when we're just relaxing. That's fine. But doing it every single day does have an effect on your subconscious. And the same goes with music. When I was in my highest state, I was constantly listening to music that hit me in my soul, that felt so good. And I was just imagining myself in the best situations while I was listening to that music, which is how so many things manifested into my life. That is a whole nother video in and of itself. But you need to be listening to music with positive words. Words are spells, especially songs that are written by those people. Those songs, those words have emotions behind them. And you are ingesting all of that. You are literally a sponge if you allow yourself to be. And if you choose to listen to that music, you are allowing yourself to be a vessel for those emotions. So that is just something to keep in mind. If you really want to watch TV, watch something educational. I am subscribed to Gaia. It's Netflix for spiritual stuff. And listen to music with positive words. Please, please, please remember that this all has an effect on your subconscious, and it will affect your day-to-day life eventually. Okay, before this video gets too long, I just want to wrap it up and give you some takeaways. To get from where I was to where I am now, it took a lot of work. Even though I didn't show it, there was a lot of crying involved. There was a lot of journaling and shadow work and diving deep, deep, deep into the depths of my psyche, into the darkest parts of my shadow self, to become aware of what was hurting me and what was blocking me from being aligned with my highest, greatest good and my higher self, my inner self, my true self, because our true divine selves are innately love. That's it. Anything else that we feel is caused by something else that is not our default. I felt like some of my psychic abilities were being blocked by the shadows that I was feeling in this just like dark rut that I was in. Now that I have uncovered those shadows and healed those parts of myself that needed to come to the surface and be acknowledged, my psychic abilities are coming back even stronger. So I'm just like hyper aware of energies, of my divine guidance, my inner wisdom, being able to communicate with my guides and have them guide me to what I need to be doing every single day that is in alignment with my highest, greatest good. Once you uncover these shadows and just acknowledge them and allow yourself to fully feel them, because that's really all they want, is they just want to be felt and they want to hear what you would want to hear. Like, think of yourself as a child and you are also the parent. What would you need from your parent in that moment that would make you feel better, that would comfort you? So you really have to just, really dig deep within and see where it's coming from to heal those parts. And when you heal those parts, you're going to become hyper aware of like situations all in your life, and you're going to start just dropping things, hobbies, interests, people, jobs, so many things, because when you had those blockages, you were not aware that that was not in alignment with your highest, greatest good. But first, you have to really, really find what is causing the root of that issue. And I am being now divinely guided to facilitate a safe space and kind of guide people through their shadow work. And I know I said earlier that I cannot hold space for people right now, but this is going to be like a pre-recorded, like, I'm just hearing that it's a 6-week course on shadow work. So I'm going to be doing healing on self-love and self-esteem, money, relationships, self-parenting, etc. I haven't gotten down to the nitty-gritty of it yet. I just know that it is 6 weeks. That is what I'm being divinely guided to do. So if that is something that you would be interested in and you were like me at the beginning of this video, then I will leave a link for that below when it is ready. Right now it is still in the works. So just check back and I will be posting about it on here and on my other socials. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. You have to find where it's coming from. Let's say your oven is broken and you have no idea what's wrong. That not knowing what is wrong is a bigger issue than the oven being broken, right? So you have to find which piece is broken and then you can assess how to fix it, right? So that is the same thing when we are having blockages or there are parts of us that are broken. They're never really broken. They're just blocked. If you are doing shadow work in the meantime, my suggestion would be to do what makes you the most uncomfortable. Whichever method makes you the most uncomfortable, that one will be the most powerful for you. So for me, I journal every day. But the most uncomfortable method of doing my shadow work for me was physically speaking it out loud. And that just goes even further to show that I have a blockage in my throat chakra. But speaking it out loud, hearing it, saying it was so painful and uncomfortable for me, but that was why it worked so well. So whatever is the most uncomfortable, that is the one that is going to work the best for you. But if you don't know what to ask yourself, if you don't know how to vocalize it, that is what the classes are going to be for. And just journal in the meantime. There are thousands of shadow work prompts on the internet that you can use. Yeah, before this video gets too long, I just want to say if you're still here and you've seen the video up until this point, just want to say thank you so much, Divine Being, for being here and watching my journey through this darkness, coming to light and being awakened to my divine magical self. Thank you. I love you so much. I hope you have a magical, divine, beautiful rest of your day, week, weekend, year, month, whatever, whenever you're seeing this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.